Hey guys, welcome back to our lesson series that we're doing together, this Through the Storms. You know, this has been kind of a really fun topic for me, is to talk to you guys about these different storms that we go through in our lives and what they really do in our lives, what are we going through. Like last week we talked about, or the last video we talked about, this through the storm of fear. What fear did in our lives, or what fear was doing in the lives of the disciples in the book of Mark chapter 4. Today's storm I really kind of want to talk to you guys about is this the storm of doubt. When we look at the idea of doubt, you know, a couple ideas come up to our mind, like, you know, what actually is doubt? What is it going on here? You know, am I doubting God in this moment? And is it a loss of faith? And to be honest with you, I think the answers do come from Mark chapter 4, and the fact that it is this passage that reads this. We're going to kind of pop it up here and we'll read it together. And it says this: on that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he awoke, and he rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" You know, the story was really kind of pinnacle in my development as a Christian, because I was looking at the storm of doubt, because I had a lot of doubts growing up. You know, I wasn't actually raised much in church. You know, we'd go every so often. Both my parents were Christians. But it was one of those things in the military life where my dad worked two jobs. He did his airman job, and then he worked at a pizzeria. My mom worked at a CDC, Child Development Center. And, you know, church was kind of put on the back burner for us growing up. When we lived in England, you know, we went a couple times. Montana, we didn't really go. I went to VBS. I knew who Jesus was. You know, I had a little pocket Bible my dad gave me when I was growing up. But that's pretty much all we had. It's all the learnings of Christ that I got. So when I got to 13, when we walked into Victory Baptist Church over in Tullahoma, and I accepted Christ as my personal Savior, I pretty much started from ground one. You know, I knew Jesus, I knew all about this, but I was trying to figure out what was going on here. And that's kind of was when a lot of the roughness started hitting my life. You know, God, do you really care for me about this? God, is this right here what? Am I supposed to be doing this? You know, when I was called to ministry, I actually fought with God back and forth. It took me a couple weeks of going back and forth with God to look at him and go, is this where I'm supposed to go? You know, I know a couple weeks doesn't sound like much. But I looked at God, I was like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I doubt it. I don't think I'm going to be good at that. I don't think I'm going to be a good public speaker. Jesus, I wanted to be a pilot since I was growing up. Since I was 3 years old. So I started fighting with him a lot. All these different roughness started coming down the road, and I started looking at him and God, do you really care for me? You know, my boat, like the disciples, my boat was filling up with water. And I know you guys know these moments is when it feels like everything's stacking on top of you. Your boat starts to fill up with water, and you're afraid that you're going to drown. You're afraid that this might be the end. It's that fear that comes along with it. And a lot of times we look back at Christ and we think Christ is back there on the boat, asleep. Obviously, he doesn't care too much about us. It's the thought. But the reality is, Christ is on the back of the boat, asleep because he knows you're going to make it. Honestly, he's back on the boat asleep because he looked at you and he was like, you're fine. We got this. He's like, I'm with you. I'm on the boat with you. We're going to make it. But it's that moment when we kind of get it all balled up and we just kind of cry out to God and go, God, do you even care about me? Like the disciples, teacher, do you not care that we're going to perish? In that moment, Christ literally stood up, walked out, and he told the winds to stop, and he looked at the sea and said, peace, be still. And it says in that moment there was a great calm. The storms faded away. The storms were gone. And everything was at peace. It was called a great calm. The reason why it was considered a great calm is because it was more than what we normally would consider our normal calm. It was emphasized that this was abnormal. The peace settled everything. And Christ's only response to him was, "Why are you afraid?" You see, Christ at the time where the disciples had gone through so many different things. He had shown them so many miracles. He had shown them that he was going to be the Messiah, that he was going to be the one to save them. He was healing people left and right. At the time, he was like, "Well, don't tell nobody," of course, you know. But he was doing amazing feats, things that are miraculous. And he looked at the disciples going, "I was with you. Why are you afraid? Do you still not have faith in me?" That's what he said. You guys read right there at the bottom of here. It says, he said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? Christ was looking at them and said, "Hey, yes, I get your storm of doubt." He said, "But we were going to make it. Why are you doubting me?" So yes, last video was the storm of fear. So why are you so afraid? Today is, do you still have no faith? Why do you not believe in me? The reason why Christ calls us out is because he said, "I've proven myself to you." And he's calling us to have faith in him in the midst of our doubts. He's saying, "Look at what I can do." He stands up and he doesn't just let us keep going through the storm. He calms the sea. He calms the wind. The boat stops filling up. And it looks like, "Let's just have faith in me." That's what he's calling for him to do. My favorite thing is at the end of the passage when the disciples were talking to him, he said, "And who is this that even the winds and sea obey him?" This is one of the moments when the disciples truly realize who Jesus was. Because the natural was controlled unnaturally. Jesus literally spoke to the sea and the wind and told them to stop, and they ceased. Kind of in our storms of doubt is when Christ does sometimes truly reveal himself to us. It's when he walks up to our storms and tells it to stop. And it's when we can truly see Christ work in our lives. So I want to tell you guys this, simply this. In your storms of doubt, when everything seems to be going wrong, when you feel like you're drowning, look to Christ. No, he's not asleep on the boat. Know that he's not just going to let you die on this one. Know that Christ is maybe asleep because he knows that we're going to make it. But when you go to him and you ask for his help, he's going to calm the storm. And he's going to show you truly who he is. In those storms of doubts that come next, you can have faith in knowing that the Christ is on the boat with you, is in charge of the winds. He controls the sea. The winds and the sea obey him. And guys, the storms don't seem too big. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I can't wait for us to be back together. But until then, I'm praying for you. I can't wait to see you. Bye.